So hello, everyone. We're starting the recording. I have one participant today, Marla, bless you. It's nice. I love having somebody join me, not just giving a recording, not just doing the recording, but I miss you all. I'm sorry that I had to change the time. But that being said, this was actually Marla's suggestion, and I think it's a good one, that we dedicate the practice today to all of those who are near the fires, who are experiencing experiencing health issues with their family and all the new variant and all that kind of stuff that's going on out there. And just remember, for all of us to remember, that we are all protected and that we are all so connected. So that the air that we breathe is our neighbor's air, is our best friend's air, is our husband's air, our mothers, our fathers, everything. I mean, by the air, if we think of the air that we share with each other, we can really tune into our the connection that we really have with one another. So, and we just, the more we wish the best for others, the more there will be good for others, for everybody, for all of us. So lots and lots of love. And let's get started with our Zangtian movement, where we purify ourselves and we connect to the beautiful unconditional love of the universe and the unconditional love of the earth. So we'll blow, purifying, left hand rises and right hand descends, and the left hand connects with the unconditional love of the universe, bringing it down into our bodies, into our breath, so that we can breathe. When we breathe out, we're sending that same love to others. So we'll just take a moment, maybe close our eyes down and connect with the universe, connect with the earth, connect with the heart of humanity. And then we can go ahead and open our eyes and just start gently rocking from side to side. Just rocking with letting our arms be loose. And so as we rock, as we press one heel down, our head will tilt the opposite way. So we expand one side of our body and and we expand and crunch the other side, contract. So expand and contract, and feel that your arms are not moving at all except the way the body is moving them. So they're just loose at your sides. And you can get a nice, lovely sense of relaxation in your shoulders, of letting go. And then perhaps we can start moving them a little bit, with a little tiny bit of relaxed effort on our part. So when our head tilts up to the right, the arms come to the left. When our head tilts to the right, our heel lifts up. We should maybe step back a little bit so you can see. And then if you'd like, you can put your arms way up to the sky, pulling that chi up and down and in. Loving, unconditional loving kindness. And then we'll just slow it down. So feel that love, that fluidity in your spine. Lovely fluidity in your spine. And then as we come down, we'll continue to work with our spine and just rotate around our spine. So we rotate around the spine. And you can, again, start with your arms just moving because your body's moving, not putting any movement into your arms intentionally, and then maybe bringing a little bit. But I'd love for you to get that feeling of no resistance in your arms and shoulders, so that as you spin from side to side, you're not moving those arms and shoulders at all. Going back and forth. Easy does it. And then slowly, we'll slow it down and start our tapping. So tap down low on one side, as far across your body as you can get it. Come all the way over to the other side. And just go back and forth. And this is something that you can tune into, how softly or maybe with a little bit more vigor that you can tap. But of course, don't hurt yourself. Okay, I think that goes without saying, right? And then get under your arm, keep that shoulder relaxed, turn your palm up and come down to the fingertips, turn the palm down and come up from the fingertips to the shoulder, and then we'll get the other side. Going back and forth, and back and forth. Neck, under the arm, this side of the body, turn the palm up, come down. The fingertips, turn the palm down, and from the fingertips, come all the way up to the neck. We'll get our neck and our head, stimulating the memory, keeping our brain healthy. And then, I remember this from Ed Sullivan. Well, a lot of this is from Ed Sullivan. So then just gently grab hold of your earlobes. And this is supposed to be very good for memory as well. So just gently pull down on your earlobes, just gentle, like 3 or 4 times. It's actually just your earlobes. You stand still and then go over to the other side, unless your body is suggesting another way doing this. But just gently pull down. There we go. And then we'll come on down. So we'll get the back, our back and our tush now. And then down the outside of our legs. Big muscles here. So you can maybe tap a little bit with a little bit more vigor. So up the inside of our legs, then down the back side. And from your toes on up to the groin. Up there. And then we'll nice. Okay. And so now we'll lift up our heels and flick our wrists. And we can just let our heels drop down as hard or as soft as we can. And if you're sitting, you can just kind of lift up your tush and let it flip down. So we're getting energy pumped up into the heart. Okay, and so now let's put our hands over our dantian. And I've heard that everybody can just put the right hand first and then the left hand on top. And I've heard that for men, it should be opposite. So I've heard both ways. So definitely women, right hand first and then left hand or on top. And so then we'll just circle around around our head around our neck and shoulders, I should say. So our dantian is 2 inches below the navel. And I'd love for us to really go slowly here. So we really tune into what's going on in our neck and then reverse directions. Keeping those shoulders nice and relaxed. And coming on back to center. And then we'll roll out our shoulders. Roll in one way and then reverse. I like to do it 3 or 4 times, or 5. 2, excuse me, 2. And then open up and pull back. And remember to use your shoulder blades to pull back. You really get into the front body there. Turn the palms down. And actually, let's just bring our hands behind us and just so we really open up that front body. Okay, and so now we'll come on to our hips and just circle them around and around and around one way and then the other. So you can really feel that your pelvis is circling around the heads of the femur. It's a ball and socket joint down in there. Circle and circle around that. Hands on your hips or the small of your back. Or maybe you can even put them there in the front so you really feel what's going on. So both directions. And then we'll just glide our hips forward and back. Trying not to move our upper body too much. Because we don't want to go like that. We're not getting really into the hips as much. But if we just can keep our shoulders right aligned with our heels, essentially, not moving at all, and just go back and forth, and we really get into those hips. And then we can lift up one hip and the other. Actually, you know what? I mean, here, you could lift up one hip and pull the shoulder down. Of course, that way we're getting a little bit more into the rib cage, but that's okay. That's a good thing to do. Okay, so now our knees. We're giving the knees some TLC, and then we'll circle around and around, around, one way and then the other way, around, around, and around, and then around and back and forward, around and back and forward, around and back and forward, and then back around the opposite direction. About 3 or 4 times like we usually do. And then with your fingertips on your kneecaps or whatever, or your palm on your kneecaps, you can just glide back and forth and back and forth. Okay, so now our heels, our heels, our ankles. I don't think there's much of a joint in our heels. Okay, so come onto your toe and just circle around your foot around your toe, your toe and your ankle. Actually, I should say toes because more than likely you feel a couple toes in that as you have it behind you. And that takes some balance, so make sure you're safe. And like I always like to recommend, we're going to come forward, and if you need help with balance, try to minimize the amount of help that you're using so that you can engage more and more of your balance. Go in one direction and then in the other, and then up and down and up and down and side, 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 and shake it on out. And then we'll do the same thing with the other foot. So circling around on the toes, one way and then the other, and then coming on forward and circling around, one way and then the other, and then come up and down and up and down and side, 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 and shake them out. Okay, and so now we'll stretch out our wrists a little bit. So come back both hands, then interlace your hands and just, again, with as much looseness as you possibly can do, just circle around your wrists one way and then the other. Then we'll gently tap 9 times. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sides of the hands. Relaxing, easy does it. And then, and I lose count when I'm talking, so. And I think it's okay. So I like to say, instead of a fist, I like to say our fingers are curled to maybe get the idea that it's just easy for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then the back of the hand, getting the fingers and the thumb as well as the back of the hand and the palm. Let me do it on keeping everything easy and loose in the back. And then we're going to make our little 5-pointed tap or eagle's beak. The palm, the thumb, and the fingers. And then the thumb, the back of the hand and the fingers. So just getting all of those areas. Same thing with the other hand. And the back of the hand. Now, as you're standing, make sure your knees stay soft. Okay, so now with that idea of not rigid, but soft, come between your fingers. This is QiGong, not karate. So we want to keep everything nice and soft. Although, I mean, if you can keep everything empty when you're doing some of those karate moves, you'll keep yourself safer. So now between thumb and fingers, other hand on top, and then the backs of the hand, just getting the circulation moving around the hands and fingers. And you know, I think this is called anti-arthritis QiGong. And even, even if you get maybe little tinges of arthritis, even while you're doing this, I think we're probably not getting as much as we would for sure without doing this. So I think these are very effective things that we do for ourselves. Boom, boom, yeah, shake it on out. Da, da, da. Okay, and now we'll give ourselves a lovely facial. So just smooth out the forehead, starting at the third eye point, going out to the temples, right around the eyebrows, just going all the way up to the hairline. The sacred terrace, nice. And then circle around the temple in both directions. Circle above the ear, both directions, in front of the ear, and then the jaw joint. Feel a sense of ease in your jaw joint. I think, and then middle finger in front, index finger behind the ear, go up and down. I really feel like if we can, we'll finish our ears first. Just giving your ears a nice massage. If we can tune in to throughout the day, and even if we happen to wake up in the night, if we're clenching our jaw or not, and can relax it, and maybe even just go like that, that we can save ourselves from wearing our teeth down and TMJ and all that stuff. So just, that's a nice area to get the jaw joint. Okay, and then we're just going to massage the rest of our face, either with our fingertips or double knuckles, whatever feels right for you. Letting your fingertips just take you where they seem to want to go. Circling around. You can start with your jawbone from around your ear, fingers on top, thumb underneath, and trace it down to your chin. And then we'll get the scalp, circling our fingertips around the scalp. And then get behind. And these are all directions, but not, you go where your fingertips, let your fingertips take you where it feels right for you. These are just suggestions. I shouldn't say directions, I should say suggestions. There we go. Okay, so now we'll just wipe it all off. Just dust off that chi that no longer serves us. The old chi. And the chi is so wonderful. It knows exactly what to do, where to go. It knows where to go in our bodies for health and healing. So, feeling a wonderful sense of relaxation. Let your knees have a slight bend in them. In our horse stance, feet about hip distance apart. And our hands, our fingers are straight, and our arms are straight but not rigid. And we just return the chi. Bringing the beauty of chi right down into us. Beauty and love. And light. Peace. Feel it come into your body. Feel it come in through the palms of your hands. Come all the way in. Maybe you feel some tingling. There's power in this, power of self-healing. The power of love. The power of life itself. And joy. Bring that joy into your body. The harmony of a balance between the yin and yang, between right and left, up and down, the divine feminine, the divine masculine. As we say with the Tao, harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. All beings be happy, healthy, and at peace. Just bring that right down into our dantian. Hold it at our dantian. Just closing our eyes down. Just feel that sense of peace. Sense of well-being, of love. Down today, when I was doing an in-service at a charter school, and they had on one of the walls a pretty darn big mural This was an elementary school and also a middle school that's attached to it. But it said, be the change you want to see in the world, Mahatma Gandhi. So when we bring that peace inside our hearts, that's the peace that we want to see in the world. That's the love that we want to see in the whole wide world. Okay, so actually I want to do something a little different today and bring a little bit more of the Shenzhen practice here. So if we can grab hold of our chairs, I want to do a couple of Shenzhen movements that I have found just are very helpful for my back and just to have that sense of relaxation. So this is kind of rocking back and forth a little bit. So you want to bring your tush a little bit forward in the chair. And we've done our Shenzhen, our Zongtian movement. So from here, what we will do is bring the backs of our hands together and bring them up and over and then down to our heart center. And then we'll separate them and rock gently forward without rounding the back. And just circle our hands around and bring them right around into our heart. And just bringing them back, but you want to keep your back straight as you're rocking back and forth. And again, that sense of relaxation comes into this movement. So gently rocking back and forth, circling your hands around. And if you want to turn your head to one side, you can. I love this so much. I do this when I wake up in the morning, sit in my bed, and I do this one. And actually, there's a second part to this movement. And so what it is you're going to just bring your right hand around, and then left hand, and look to the right, look to the left, and now you'll circle your hands around, not in opposite directions, but at different times. So as the right hand stirs outward, the left hand will come in. Just stir it around and bring it back to your heart center, down slightly, and then just circle it around again and look from side to side. Just feel a lovely fluidity in your spine, a lovely sense of relaxation. And then we'll come on back to the original way, both arms circling around. This might be a little bit easier for us. And then just bring our hands down onto our lap. And so we'll end the QiGong portion of the class by when we do our Zongtian movement, we'll do it with gratitude. Gratitude to ourselves. So we blow in. And gratitude to the heavens, to the universe. Gratitude to humanity. And gratitude to our beautiful mother. Okay, so I like to do our push-ups. So find a wall, and I don't have a wall close by. I guess I could come over here and just tilt this here, and okay. So tilt here. I usually don't do this anyway. So just make sure your hands are about shoulder height, and also that your body is just one. This is kind of a variation of plank pose. Your body is like a plank. It's straight, so you don't bend at the top or anything. So shoulders, wrists are shoulder height or maybe slightly below. We'll just go in 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Then step out. If it's available, if it's not available, don't do it. Maybe bring your hands down a little lower. We'll do 1, 2, 3. And maybe bring your hands down a little lower and same thing. And step out if it's available, or do this or do it at that distance again. 1, 2, 3. Okay, nice. Okay, so now we'll come on back with our chair and just stretch out our spine a little bit. And be gentle with this, because this can actually be a very vigorous stretch. So just be gentle with this. Go to really tune into yourself and go to the right limit for yourself, to your comfort level here. So just stretch out your arms. Let your heels be under your tush if that feels right. Tuck the chin into the chest. You can pull back once your hips are over your heels. You can pull back on the hips, and you really get a big stretch if you do that. But like I said, only do what's right for you. And so then, if you'd like, you can lift up one leg, press the heel away, pointing the toe towards the ground, and then the other leg, and then come on down. Nice. And then we'll come on to our chair. I'm sitting down onto the chair and just rock back and forth a little bit again to just ease up if you feel a little too much going on in your spine there. You can ease up back and forth. And again, as much as you can bring the feeling of relaxation into your body, do so. Okay, and so we'll rock back and forth and come on back to our neutral position. And we'll do our pelvic floor. So starting with the central pelvic floor, with just the whole thing, we'll take an inhale and exhale, lift on up. Inhale down. You can exhale through pursed lips. Exhale up. Inhale, relax. Exhale up. Really feel it lift. Feel that pelvic floor lift. Inhale, relax. 2 more. Exhale up. And relax. And one last time this way. Exhale, lift up. And relax. And make sure your shoulders are relaxed. I just noticed it's kind of got a little tension in my shoulders. So we're working on this area of our body, not on our upper body. Okay, so now we're going to lift up one side, and you can do it just from this position. You can do it by lifting up, sitting on a book, or if you can come over to the edge of your chair and just let the side drape off the side of one side of your body, just drape off the chair. And so trying to keep your body as straight as you can, not leaning over. Take an inhale, relax it down, and exhale, lift up, and we'll do it 5 times. Relax, exhale, lift up, relax. You can breathe through pursed lips. Exhale, lift. And exhale, lift. These are just great exercises to do whenever you can think of them throughout your day. And if it's not necessarily going from one side to the other, but at least just that central thing, anything is all beneficial. Exhale, lift. 5 times on this side. Exhale, lift. And release it down. Exhale, lift. And release down. And exhale, lift. I think we might have one more. It might be, I lost count again. Exhale, lift. And come on down. Okay, and then back to center. And then maybe ease up a little bit. Feel that your thighs are even relaxed, perhaps. And your feet, they rest on the floor. And then we'll do our lovely twist. Okay, so everything is even here. You know, we're straight ahead. And now we'll pull back on our right hip and inhale, lift up, and then turn our pelvic, our rib cage to the right. And inhale, lift. Exhale, turn our shoulders all the way to the right. Exhale, lift. And then if you'd like, you can bring your arms, you can grab hold of the chair behind you with your arms, with your hands, in any way that feels right for you. And you can look over your shoulder, your right shoulder, and let your eyes go all the way to the right, getting a little eye exercise. And keep the body in the same position and turn your head very gently with awareness to the opposite shoulder. And you can look all the way to the left here. And then come on back, all the way back. Sit in a neutral position and maybe feel what's going on in your body. Probably one side feels a little different than the other. And so now we'll pull back on our left hip. Inhale, exhale, turn at the rib cage. Inhale, exhale, turn our shoulders. Inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, you can bring your hands behind. And keep those shoulders relaxed as you grab hold of your chair behind you, perhaps. Of course, only go to your comfort level. Look over your shoulder and turn your eyes. This time, let's have our eyes go straight up to the sky. And then, as we keep our body in the same position and release our head to the other shoulder, we'll just look downward with our eyes. And come on back slowly to center. And so we started a little bit with an eye exercise. So now we'll just go up diagonally to up one way and then down the other, up to the right, down to the left, or vice versa. You can do that 3 times. And then the opposite, up to the, whatever I said, up to the right and down to the left, or wherever. And then we'll just rotate our eyes all the way around. Nice. Okay, and so one other thing that we can do while we're here, let's lift up our left arm, lean over to the right. You can let the right arm, you can bring the right arm across to get a little stability there, maybe wrap it around your left thigh or not. Pull gently back on your right shoulder and really open up through the rib cage. And then come on back. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So lift up your right arm and keep that right hip down as you come over to the left. You can take your arm just and grab hold of the right thigh. Breathing into the rib cage, into the lungs. And then come on back. And let's just take a moment to bring our hands into our heart center. And breathe into our heart. And just feel that love in our heart. all the way out. Actually, let's just do this. Let's just take this love in our heart and just give it out to the world. Opening up our arms nice and wide and just feeling that love just circle out the world. And then come on back. Even as your hands are at your heart, and if you want to bring them down to your lap, you go ahead and do so. But just feel that energy in your heart, that loving energy in your heart. And just know that it is there. Reaching out to the whole wide world, to all beings everywhere. All love to all beings. May we all be happy, loving, and kind. May we all be healthy, peaceful, and wise. All beings be safe and protected. And so thank you so much for joining me. Lots and lots of love to everybody. Namaste. Namaste.